For the first few years of his Hollywood career, Robert Downey Jr. managed to cover up his addictions to various drugs and alcohol, turning in rave-reviewed performances in films like Air America and Less Than Zero, and winning a BAFTA for his portrayal of Charlie Chaplin in 1992. But to those close to him, Robert was always a time bomb waiting to go off. He was born in New York in 1965 to performing parents and made his film debut as a puppy in his father's 1970 film Pound. As a teenager, he landed small roles in films like Baby It's You and Tough Turf. On the set of Firstborn in 1984, he met and fell in love with a 19-year-old Sarah Jessica Parker. During their 7-year relationship, Robert's drug use spiraled out of control, and he made his first trip to rehab in 1987. Sarah did her best to tape up the lover she refers to as a leaky pipe, but she eventually gave up in 1991. Robert managed to hold it together until 1996, when it all caught up with him, and he was arrested 3 times on drug and gun charges. He was sentenced to 3 years probation, and for the next 4 years he was in and out of prison and rehab. The fallout from his growing police record included missing out on starring in Woody Allen's film Melinda and Melinda, because he was such a liability that no company would insure the production. He also ended up losing his Golden Globe-winning job on TV drama Ally McBeal, after getting into trouble again in 2001. Just when it looked like he'd blown his last lifeline, he was thrown a supporting role in the 2003 psychological thriller Gothica. This time, he held on tight, and his campaign to get back on track gathered momentum thanks to his romance with the film's producer, Susan Levin. Susan was able to keep a close eye on him as producer on his 2005 movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But he wasn't out of the woods yet, with producer Joel Silver still struggling to get him insured for the film. But Robert was reveling in his return to the limelight.
It's kind of a love letter with a lot of backstabbing on the way. But ultimately, they're all staying here at the end. That's a funny thing. People love talking smack about LA, but we're all going home to our places here at night.
His partner in the crime comedy was fellow former bad boy Val Kilmer. And if things went awry, the film's writer-director Shane Black would have had his hands rather full.
There's this reputation that both of them have. That's the past. There was nothing on my set to indicate that they were anything other than consummate professionals.
Thanks to such positive reviews, he was in everyone's good books again, and the job offers came flooding in. More than making up for the time he lost, Robert saw no fewer than 11 films released from 2005 to 2007. As well as supporting George Clooney in Good Night and Good Luck, he co-starred with Tim Allen in a remake of the Disney classic The Shaggy Dog, and played a crime reporter in Zodiac. He was now getting enough distance on his former troubles that he was able to laugh about them on the promotional trail of his 2007 film, A Scanner Darkly.
I had these little fuzzy slippers. I had slippers.
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
They were pink.
Because I've seen a couple tweakers in my life, and oftentimes, as long as you're not going to be leaving the house for 2 weeks, you might as well put on some slippers. So that really helped me dig into my character, aside from the 25 years of drug research I've been doing previous.
Life research, Robert.
I stand corrected.
With his confidence fully restored, he set his sights on snagging his first mainstream leading role in over a decade, and landed the title role in the big screen adaptation of Iron Man.
I was surprised that I went after it as hard as I did, but in this case I had to, and it paid off, I think.
Having nailed that enormous challenge, he bravely put his hand up for the rather daunting prospect of playing an African American in the Ben Stiller comedy Tropic Thunder. In just 4 short years, he'd gone from being an insurance risk to being the hottest property in Hollywood, and directors were falling over themselves to sign him up. One of those who got lucky was Guy Ritchie, who approached Robert to play Sherlock Holmes.
In case you aren't aware, I had a hell of a summer. And it's made me much more viable to play a lead role than I might have in the past. And I thought the idea of Guy and the way his directing style and his strengths with a kind of very staid, you know, iconoclastic period idea like this was just kind of a no-lose situation.